Good. Wow, that is really bright. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the case may be, in this bright and wonderful world we call home. I am your humble host, Mike Miller. My co-host, Edwin Boyette. This is
the Aloha Hour.
So, Edwin, what's been going on today?
Oh, well, Mike, since you asked, I will tell you. Right, so Comicsgate super villain and all around maniac, Richard C. Meyer, better known by his criminal name, Diversity in Comics. He did an interview with some cat off of Comedy Central. Jeffries, is it Jim Jeffries?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that got posted today, just a couple of hours back, on Twitter, and that post has been blowing up. It's been so much fun.
We have been taking advantage of the free press.
Yes. So they posted this thing, and it's obviously like got this crazy edit just to make Richard look even goofier than he is.
Yeah.
And so what I did, I went in there and I started posting like all the everybody's Indiegogo links, and I posted a lot of art from Mike, and then we posted Mike's press release for Comicsgate. What is Comicsgate?
Yeah, from John's page, John Delarose.
Yeah. And we've been keeping that posted up there. So pretty much everybody who's going on that Twitter post to see how horrible Comicsgate is gets to see the Indiegogo campaign for the Lone Star, gets to see Mike's article, and gets a heavy dose of Comicsgate. So it's fantastic.
And because they will hate and comment without bothering to read the article, which would explain to them that we are not the straw men that they pretend that we are.
Yeah.
Their constant commenting has keeps that article front and center.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. they keep spilling their spaghetti.
Yep.
And losing their minds. So it pushes up this post. It pushes up the post showing that a Hawaiian-born Japanese man and a Hispanic science fiction writer are the ones leading the charge against diversity in comics. It's a beautiful thing. It is.
Oh man, there was one guy saying he didn't seem to understand that I had written the article on comic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so he says that John has no credibility because of he's what, a science fiction writer. Where's his credibility? And I'm like, so you're rather than taking how did I phrase it? You remember how I phrased it?
We'll have to go look it up. I forget what he said.
It's basically, I'm saying, okay, so I wrote the thing, and I have 26 years of experience in the comic book industry as a professional, but you're going to take this comedian as the expert in the field, because he's like saying, well, if I need an expert, like if I need a plumber, I hire an expert. If I need a doctor, I hire an expert. And it's like, but you're taking your advice from a comedian on my industry. Why don't you read the article and learn a little something?
It's funny, the cosplayers they picked, because they had Bob's Your Uncle as, I don't know who he was cosplaying as, and they had the one girl named Seducia, who had her boobs falling out of her top. And then they had John Stewart, Green Lantern, but he was like had on a muscle suit, Green Lantern suit. So it's funny because they're hitting all these tropes and stuff, and they're saying, wait a minute. It's the whole thing was a circus, but hopefully we sold some comic books today.
Yeah, that is my hope as well. And pretty sure I need a new quill. This thing is sucking.
Well, yeah. So you always got a choice. You always got a choice when you're in an altercation with someone. You know, if you have to defend yourself, defend yourself. But if you can, defuse it, right, and turn it around. And if it's just a verbal altercation, you know, don't let somebody else control you.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Don't let somebody steal your joy. You know, take your smile away, make you mad. Don't let them drag you down in the mud. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. You could have the championship belt of wrestling naked hobos, right? You could be the world champion naked hobo fighter, but are you really a winner, right? Are you really a winner after a fight with a naked hobo?
Nope, you're just naked and smelly.
Yeah. So don't let anybody pull you down, and don't let anybody make you angry.
But it has been fun. I mean, they don't even get it. They don't get how, you know, no press is bad press, and it doesn't matter how much of a hit job they try to do on Richard, which he doesn't seem to mind. He didn't seem to think it was that bad. But it doesn't matter what the press is. No press is bad press. They're gonna move the needle for us because it just gives him exposure. It gives the entire movement exposure. I mean, Comicsgate is now on Comedy Central.
Yeah, how nuts is that? Yeah, how nuts is that?
They don't even see it.
You guys are now a nationwide phenomenon beyond Twitter. Made it to the big time. Lone Star Squadron. Everybody coming by that Twitter post is now learning about the Lone Star Squadron. It's great.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, hopefully this translates into dollar signs because that's my favorite.
Well, you know, I think we're coming up on 500 members of the Lone Star Squadron, if I'm not mistaken.
I know I'm over 500. What do you call it? Transactions. But I think, you know, there's multiple people doing transactions or multiple transactions.
It says 470 backers. That's a good start.
What's wrong with this? It is a good start, and I am thankful for every single one of them. I'm actually working on what I was working on today. I don't know if you watched any of the streams.
I saw you. Looked like you were doing the layout and some quick pencils for something for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's cover for Clash of Kings number 16.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm working on because that still is my job. It's you know, it's doing one cover every, well, it should be every month, but really the book doesn't come out every single month. They only have one artist on it. Gosh, I can't remember. Mel Ruby, I think. And so it doesn't come out every single month. So sometimes I'll have like months of gap between having to do one issue to the next. So which has worked out fine for me. I'm not complaining.
The more I watch you and some of your peers do your work, I realize that before the age of the internet and some of this other stuff, this could have been like vastly lonely work because you're just kind of sitting at a table, or I guess some people were sitting at a typewriter and just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, some of us we'd team up and get into studios. That's why I moved to San Diego, was to join a studio. And prior to that, I would burn up the phone line. I would just have my Plantronics headset on, and I would just be calling people all the time and just shooting the crap. But growing up, I had a really good friend, Matt Osborne, and we would just draw like all the time. I'd just go hang out. his mom was an artist, or is an artist. Patricia Osborne, fantastic artist. Google her. Fantastic watercolor painter up in Mendocino. And gremlins in the house. And yeah, so we'd sit in her studio. Matt had a little drawing desk in there, and I'd sit on the couch with the drawing board. We just, watch Highlander, Monty Python, whatever, Terminator, just talk comics, talk whatever, draw all the time. It was really, really fun. So, but yes, in this day and age, it can get to be, well, I'm not lonely because I have a house full of people.
You got the fire team there.
Yeah. But like my buddy JJ I had on in San Diego, he lives alone over in another part of San Diego, and so I can see where that can get monotonous.
But I could
get lonely. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my dinger off.
I could see where some of those dudes could get a little nutty, though. That might explain some of the kookiness in the industry.
That might explain some people, yeah.
So now, what were you talking about today about the Imaginaries and Superhero G? Because I was kind of dipping in and out. I had some stuff going on.
Well, I was just saying that is a project. I mean, every time I mention it to anyone, they want to see it, right?
Right.
And I think pretty much everybody likes it once they do see it. And so really, I think it's a project that I could get started because like what I want to do is take the first 4 issues and have them redrawn.
Right.
And so I could get it started without it actually, consuming too much of my time, other than if I'm pushing it on Indiegogo, then it's going to take 2 months out of them. 2 months out of a month. 2 months. 2 weeks out of a month of me pushing beginning and end, and then I'd just be mentioning it like I have been Lone Star here. But it is a project that I want, Superhero G, I want in the Blacklist universe. And so I have to launch him into the universe, but I'd rather have his entire backstory told through Blacklist as opposed to being something that was published 10 years ago and just never finished because our company disbanded, and then I didn't have the money to fund it on my own, and et cetera, et cetera. It's everybody loves it.
Do you own 100% of the rights to?
I do own the rights. Ben's my co-writer on it, and I do have like a deal with him. So like if it gets sold as a movie or something, then he gets a certain percentage. And whatnot, but I do actually own all the rights to the Imaginaries.
Right.
Actually have it in the copyright office.
So
that's my only property I probably have completely copyright, like through all the channels and everything.
If you're gonna do that, I think it needs to be updated, and then it needs some consideration needs to be given to how it'll fit into the Blacklist universe.
Yeah.
Right. If it's all one coherent universe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the story may need some tweaking.
Yeah.
Because Superhero G is pretty robust. Yeah. I was just glancing through it last night. I went on Comixology and got #1. I could sell like 99 cents. Why not? Just boom. It's easy. It's cheap.
That's Comixology. The Imaginaries by Mike S. Miller, for those who are listening and curious.
Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. Gotta log into the. Sometimes Comixology is a little bit lagamandoodle. Here's my library on here. Navigating over. Yeah, the interface to Comixology could be, I guess, a little bit better on my books. There we go. Books. Browse my library. Where is? Here we go. I do like that cover though. How much of the who colored this?
Who colored? Which cover is it?
Let's see. Hang on a second. Open this thing up. The Imaginaries
Share your
#1. Yeah, go ahead and share my screen.
No, you share your screen.
Oh, I share my screen?
Yeah.
Let's see. Got it.
And then I just click on your face. There we go.
Oh, that's right.
Whatever's on your screen will be on screen.
And I don't know how good this is gonna look. How can I make this bigger? Zoom in.
Oh, you see that little guy on the bottom left? That's actually drawn by Sean Galloway, Cheeks Galloway. He was the guy I first tapped to do it back before he had done anything, back before he had gotten famous or anything, before he worked on Big Hero 6 or became. He's a pretty big guy. I found him on Pencil Jack. Long ago, and he was going to do it, but then he got some other gig and had to back out, and then he's the one who got me Gregory Titus. And
are you okay if I page through a couple of pages, or?
Yeah, by all means. It's 99 cents. I'm not going to lose anything.
All right, so this is Imaginaries #1, and it looks like there's. I didn't catch that before because I was just flipping through last night. See if I can zoom this in. Yeah, there's a little teddy bear army here.
Those are the Nasty Bears.
Yeah. Can you see that down in the corner?
You have to pull the page up, yeah.
Yeah, there we I think we were talking to some of those folks in that Twitter page.
Okay, so the story of the Nasty Bears is that unlike normal imaginary friends, teddy bears get handed from one child to the next, right? So they get and with every child grants their own personality to the teddy bears. And so the teddy bears are being constant, like when a character is forgotten about, they get passed off into the imagination. But when a character is remembered, they get pulled back into the world of being an imaginary friend in the real world. Oh. And so teddy bears become like schizophrenic because they keep getting pulled back into the real world and given new personalities by their new owners. And so the Ice Queen kind of corralled this disenfranchised, discombobulated force of teddy bears into her own little fascist army.
All right, let's check out some more pages here. We advance here. Let's try this. All right, so the Imaginaries, created by Mike S. Miller, written by Ben Avery and Mike S. Miller. Pencils by Mike S. Miller and Greg Titus. Colors by Link Studios and Greg Titus. Does Link Studios still exist?
I have no idea. I haven't heard from those guys in a decade.
Letters by Bill Tortellini.
Tortellini.
Is it Tortellini?
Tortellini.
How about that? Well, he's a delicious pasta. I love tortellini. Edited by Mike S. Miller. Lost and Found. Part 1 of 4. Zoom in a little bit.
So I did the real world pages here.
Okay.
So I mean, you don't have to read it or anything.
Tanner. What comic book is he reading? I kind of zoomed out of that.
Lullaby, which is another one of my titles.
Lullaby. Yeah, I caught that. Let me zoom. See if we can zoom in a little bit and see if we can see that. See, we can read Lullaby there. And what is that say? Does that say Killer Studios? What does it say?
Killer Stunts. It was another comic book that we were publishing at Alias at the time.
Oh, okay, I can see the little motorcycle there. That's pretty good. What was Lullabies about?
Lullaby was created by Hector Sevilla and myself. He basically had this really loose concept, and I like and some drawings, a few pages of drawings that he did, and I kind of took it and made an entire like story and world out of it. And then we brought Ben Avery in because it takes place in the world of like fairy tales,
right?
And Ben Avery is like, he's a teacher, but he's like studies fairy tales like from around the world and stuff.
Oh wow!
Plus, he's a great writer, and so we put him together. You know, we worked on that book together, and it's basically something has gone wrong in the world of fairy tales, and Jim Hawkins, Pinocchio, Alice from Wonderland, and the Little Red Riding Hood and the Pied Piper of Hamelin have banded together to go and seek out the Wizard of Oz to find out what has broken the world of make-believe.
Did you you drew these pages, yeah?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks like kind of looks like you're draping on the clothing.
Yep.
Because his hoodie actually looks like it's obeying gravity. His little shorts look like they're actually obeying gravity. Oh, what is this? Are you hiding your alt-right symbology in here? What are we doing here?
That's from that's Independent Skate Trucks. So that's Tanner, and he's visiting.
Oh, I don't remember getting any royalties for this, and I don't remember getting a credit for this.
So the kid's Tanner. He's visiting his grandparents' house, and he's in his dad's old room. So he digs in his dad's old closet and finds these drawings that his dad did when he was a kid. And then he kind of assumed his dad's imaginary friend through his drawings. But he well, I guess that's a spoiler, but he changed his name to Superhero G because all he knew about him was he had a big G on his chest. And actually, my nephew Kai drew those drawings when he was like, what was he, 8? No, maybe 5? Nah, maybe 8. Somewhere between 5 and 8. And then I scanned him in and put him in the.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Well, hang on. Well, let me go back. Go back. That's great. All right, I'm gonna take it off of screen share. I don't want to show your whole comic book here.
You could if you wanted to. Doesn't matter to me.
Let's see. Have I stopped screen sharing? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a conversation.
I'm gonna catch up with chat here just for a second and see if we got any questions and such. Scroll back through.
Oh my gosh, I got 97 new Twitter notifications.
Oh no.
I should ignore those for the time being. Oh, Gary's messaging me.
Eric or Elric, and Elric, you gotta tell me how to pronounce your last name. Is that Hayuka? Or is something silent there? I just saw the video.
Oh,
How is it again?
It's from Naruto. It's Hugo.
Oh, okay. Elric Hugo. I just saw the video. That's really what DNC looks like? Yep. You got the full Richard. Let's see.
The full Monte.
Oh, Grant Hall. Grant Hall says, I can't watch it because I'm in Australia and Comedy Central is geo-blocked. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hey, isn't that Devin Graham says, hey, Edwin. Hey, Mike. Hey, right back at you there, bud.
Howdy.
So I guess everybody's trying to figure out if Richard is handsome or not. Carl Member says, Grant Hall, mate, can you do the world a favor and take Jim Jeffries back and duct tape his mouth? That's not nice. We had I think Jim Jeffries has inadvertently done us a favor.
I could not agree more.
Let's see. Looking through here. Looking through here. Looking through here. Everybody's just kind of talking about the chat. Let's see, it's 7:55. Well, that's my time, so it's going to be confusing to everybody. Sierra Whiskey 186 says Lone Star Squadron. If you haven't backed it, go throw down some dough and join the movement. I like the cut of your jet, sir.
I need to get.
When I'm done with Sierra Whiskey 186. I guess he got the 6-gun, the 6-gun Severon. He says,
yeah?
I'll go check out the rest of the Miller back kennel.
How far is he? How far are you, brother?
Yeah, let us know. And then Elric asked me if I got a DM that he sent me. Elric, I'll go back and check after the show. Let's see. Have you already covered how this could get DNC fired from his normal job? The SJWs have been trying hard for over a year now. You know, I suppose it could, and I think he does relatively well because he does like network security. But he's also got a big old pile of shekels that he's sitting on. So if worse comes to worse, I imagine he can make it work. But a little bit of confidence when you got some jawbreakers money to fall back on.
But these people don't want people who disagree with them to be able to make a living.
Yeah.
So in functional terms, they practically want us dead.
Yeah. And there's for the religious in the house, you can actually go look up a verse about taking a man's millstone, and that's a pretty horrible thing.
It's unbelievable.
You're not supposed to take a man's millstone, meaning you're not supposed to interfere with a man's capacity to earn a living and feed himself and feed his family. Rastock says they would put us in camps if they could. Rastock, I don't think that would go well for them.
Not after today's Supreme or Ninth Circuit decision.
Yes, what are the ramifications of that going to be? Am I going to be able to actually carry a firearm in the People's Republic of Hawaii?
Gosh, that seems to be the way it reads, doesn't it? I don't know if that's going to come to. I don't know. That's the Ninth Circuit. Who are they going to go to? The Supreme Court? The Supreme Court's going to be like, yeah, of course, the Second Amendment.
And so talking about preventing people from being able to work and realizing how disordered some of these people are. Because, I'm religious, I'm conservative. I don't want to impose a theocracy on you. Right? I don't feel like I can impose my faith on you because faith doesn't work like that. All I want is the capacity to practice my faith without coercion from any outside force. Yeah, that's
Right.
all. I certainly don't. I definitely don't want a theocracy run by man. I absolutely don't want that. There's not a single religious leader in the world that I can imagine that I would want to be running the United States government. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That sounds as scary to me as anybody. Um, but these people, some of these people are wackadoodle. And so what I want to do is I want to make these people irrelevant. And I want to take a big chunk of business from Marvel, from DC, from some of these other entertainment industries, and I want a big chunk of that business to wind up in the hands of people like Mike Miller, Ethan Van Sciver, Timothy Lim, right, Brett Smith, some of these cats who are, down to make something good and treat you with some dignity and respect. Right. Hopefully when you come by the Aloha Hour, we left you better than we found you. Hopefully, hopefully everybody comes in here and when they leave, you feel a little bit better than when you walked in, because that's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, not to get down on anybody else in the community. But some of the criticism that those guys are throwing at us is accurate in the sense that they say that we're feeding off of anger and resentment, and you know
Some
what?
of that is accurate. Some of that is accurate.
It is, but you know what? That's if you watch the news or you listen to talk radio, that's the food that gets ratings. You know.
Yeah, what gets ratings?
Get off the phone, you idiot! This is the you know what I mean?
The only thing I always caution people, if you're going to listen to a lot of talk radio, in a lot of these shows, particularly that are delving into topics that can make you angry, you need an outlet for that anger, right? Don't just let somebody spin you up and you're not going to do anything useful with that information, right? So don't let somebody just make you angry and angry and angry, and then you don't take any useful action, right? Because you've essentially just put yourself on kind of like a adrenaline and dopamine hamster wheel. And you're just kind of spinning yourself out to no good purpose. So if you're going to consume that stuff, then take some useful action. Figure out some segment of the world. And since you're here, I'm guessing that many of you have chosen this segment of the world and make it a better place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I cannot say that I have been immune to the festering anger getting the better hold of me. Yeah.
Well, it can't. It can't, man. I was telling my wife right before dinner, she started to do these news videos. And so she was doing some stuff with QAnon and was in a big group of people and kind of wanted to break off and start working on her own stuff, put her own channel under her own control. So she's slowly been developing like some news videos. She does these things like 5 and 5, like 5 topics in 5 minutes. She's figuring out her programming and her delivery and stuff. But man, right before dinner, she started looking at who's that Epstein guy?
Epstein?
Yeah, Lolita Island.
What? Is it Josh Epstein?
Maybe. But I told her, let's put a pause on that for a minute. I don't want to think about scumbags right before I sit down to eat dinner. Now, but now, what I'm not telling you is, I'm not telling you to stay out of a fight, because you got to stand for something. Right? You got to stand for something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. And you've got to put yourself in the midst of good people, right? Because
Yep.
We will surely hang together, or we will surely hang apart. That's a quote from our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure if that's, you know, what is that, apocryphal, or if he actually said that. I would like to think he actually said it. So you got to put yourself amongst good people, but you got to pick your fights too. You know, don't exhaust yourself, flailing all around. Find your thing. Find the area of the world that you feel like where you can make your stand, where you can make that place better, where you can protect your family, and fight that fight. Yeah.
Yep.
And don't be fighting all the time. Don't forget to celebrate. you gotta recharge with some joy and some fellowship and some friendship and some of these positive emotions. It's not good for anybody to stay not good for everybody to stay spun up all the time. Yeah.
Don't feed the beast.
But when it's time to get on it, right? When it's time to get on it, you gotta go all in. Woo!
What's more with feeling?
A little bit too much energy for the Aloha hour.
Much coffee.
Yeah. Here I am drinking coffee. It's 8 o'clock. Be bouncing off the walls before bedtime.
Yeah, I was just in the kitchen and getting water, and I looked at the leftover coffee and I thought about it. So.
How is everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing pretty good? Yeah, Ric Flair in the house. Ric Flair is a legend.
What happened with Ric Flair?
Oh no, I gave the woo.
Oh,
Just kind of.
Not really.
I gave it too well. My wife wants me to do a high energy, but it's the Aloha hour, so it's not appropriate for. It's not appropriate to go full. Only quarter word.
let's see.
So Imaginaries, huh? Imaginaries. I kind of like the idea. What do you think you would change to make it fit in with the rest of the Blacklist universe, though?
No, I see at the end of the story, spoilers coming. He enters the real world. I hate it when my thumb doesn't unlock my stinking iPad. See, at the end of the story, the bad guy has been planning on coming to the real world and creating a portal to come to the real world to take over the real world, right? And as a result, Superhero G follows them through the portal to battle it out here. And in the original story, you know, he sees that Tanner has grown up and doesn't need him. And so he goes back to the imagination and rekindles the relationship there. So really all I need to do is either find a way to maintain that portal open so that he can come in and out, or have him sacrifice his relationship to stay with Tanner and stay here, stay in the real world. Either way, that brings him into this world, and he can be my great big goofy Superman. I mean, imagine the Superman, but he doesn't have Superman's powers. I mean, technically he does like have the original Superman powers, you know, he can jump really far and all that stuff. But when he gets to the real world, he realizes that or Tanner and his father, who both kind of co-created him, realize that it's their faith in him that creates his powers. So they start inventing powers for him in order to take on this giant imaginary who's see, basically this imaginary comes to the real world, and an imaginary gets strength and power through people's belief in him, right? So as he's in this world and people see him, they believe in him because he's there. He's a physical manifestation. The more people believe in him, the bigger and bigger he gets. So pretty soon you have this Godzilla-sized imaginary, you know, in the town, and that's why, you know, everyone's not focused on Superhero G, just Tanner and Tim, his father, and so they have to use their imaginations to give him the power to take down the bad guy.
Mm.
So, yeah, the whole story is written. It just has never been completely illustrated.
What happened with the publication of that in general?
Well, we were doing it through Alias, which was my publishing company, and then Alias folded up shop. I took my characters and I was gonna launch it through Abacus Comics, and I was going to use the money from the latest. Like I had created Abacus Comics through Diamond, and I had taken solicitations and orders for, you know, trades that I already had. So it was like somewhere around $15,000 worth of orders, and I was going to use that money to further and relaunch, you know, as Abacus. But Diamond screwed up, sent my money back to my former partner, and then I forget what happened. But it all just kind of got screwy, and we ended up making an agreement on physical properties and intellectual properties and all that kind of stuff. So we parted amicably, but at the cost of Imaginaries and Lullaby continuing. And I tried to launch it again through Blue Water, but I never got paid on the publishing, so I just canceled it after the first issue.
Chad is kind of interested about the progress of the drawing you're working on.
I haven't gotten much done. I've only inked a little bit. This paper is not playing nice. My quill it just doesn't feel right. So I don't know. I'm kind of tentative.
Is the humidity different tonight, or what would change?
That might be the case, yeah. And it might be my quill, but it feels like the paper is moist. So.
All right. So now for the interested or the literate there, they want to know what sort of quill you're using and what sort of paper you're drawing.
I'm using my old Marvel paper from like a really long time ago. And I'm using a Crow Quill 102 with a I can't remember what the name of the holder is, but you can see it there. It's a really cool, like, it's actually a burnishing holder. So this holds a 2mm burnisher, but the 2mm is just the right size for a quill nib. And so I use that. And I'm also using a Raphael Kolinsky Sable 8404 size 4. So those are my tools. That's what I'm using.
So what happens? You said that's old Marvel paper. So is that a decade old, or is it fresher than that?
It's yeah, it's probably a decade old.
Do you think that makes a difference? Does paper, unused paper, does it degrade over time or take on some different characteristics?
I think it depends on where it's stored, and it's entirely possible that this, and you know what, this is a grain of paper that I don't generally like using. I like using smooth paper, but this has a little bit of a tooth to it, which I dislike. I like my quill to have a nice smooth surface to work on.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't know, it feels funny to me. So
what? It just feels like the paper is kind of pulling against the quill
yeah,
more than you would like.
Feels like I'm working on 800 grit sandpaper.
Okay. I do all my drawing on this Express notepad.
Well, there
I think my wife got at some
that's got a little tooth to
it. Yeah. And this fine, probably a Bank of Hawaii pen, which we obviously got from Bank of Hawaii. So yeah, I can empathize.
it. I want to try to prop my iPad up so I can read some chats. Jiminy, I am not going to shave my head for $100,000, so please stop making that offer. Oh wait. Oh no, that was yesterday's. All right, let me refresh here. I mean, not yesterday's, earlier today. All right, and how do I get to my chat? I look like an old man with these glasses on.
Welcome to middle age.
It was funny, the first time I realized that I was actually middle-aged was because I had a friend of mine selling my prints at a convention, and I'm older than he is by several years. and some guy came up and he's like, or called me up, and he's like, "Hey, is there some middle-aged guy selling your prints for you?" Middle-aged. He's like, he was younger than me.
Have you ever seen Big Trouble in Little China?
I haven't seen the whole thing, oddly enough.
What was that character's name called?
Lopan?
Yeah, Lopan. So when you hit 60, are you going to go full Lopan or?
We shall see. We shall see. I actually met him. Talked to him on the phone a few times too.
Oh, cool.
My wife has a picture with him somewhere around here. Yeah, we hung out at Las Vegas. The con. I met him in San Diego, and then when I was doing the tour with my wife and the Wildstorm, my wife was the voodoo model. For those who don't know.
Oh, I didn't know if that was for real. That was for real?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool. How cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. We got to meet, hang out with James Hong that night. A little bit. And then he wanted me to help him come up with a comic book that he could sell at conventions. And it would be based on, because I am James Hong, I'm the man of 1,000 faces. And so he wanted to do something along those lines. So, where did you get your huge printer? Amazon? It's a Workforce 720 Epson. Or not 720, 7510 Epson. So yeah, it prints 11 by 17. I think a lot of the Workforce ones do that. You just got to figure out how to get the paper in.
So if you've never seen, for some of you younger folks, if you've never watched Big Trouble in Little China, you should go watch at least like 15 minutes of it. I'm sure it's somewhere on the YouTubes, or at least some of the scenes. It's kind of funny. I doubt that movie could get made now either.
I think there's a lot of movies that couldn't get made now, like They Call Me Bruce. You ever see They Call Me Bruce?
Oh yeah.
Look at my face. I'm an Oriental. I swear I want to do a shirt that says that.
Since I live in Hawaii, just kind of take for granted that everybody has, every other person is Asian. That's just kind of how it is in Hawaii.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, though, lived in a town of about 5,000 people in this semi-rural town in North Carolina, right in the middle of tobacco country. And I think we didn't have our first Asian resident until I was like 6 or 7 years old. Billy Fan, his dad was a doctor. So we had exactly one Asian family, I think, in our town till I was like 16 or so.
How'd they get out?
First day, first time I'd ever had shrimp chips. When he started elementary school with us, his mom brought in bags and bags of shrimp chips.
I used to love those.
But now you just kind of, living in Hawaii, you just kind of take some of this stuff for granted.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of good Japanese food out there.
Yeah, got a lot of good Japanese food. Last night, when I was watching part of the stream, I was eating Korean food, watching a Japanese guy talk. Might have been crossing the streams.
Like, what kind of Korean food? Korean barbecue?
Yeah, Korean barbecue and kimchi.
Love it. I make Calbee short ribs a lot.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Well, when I tell people, come over for a barbecue, that's usually what I mean.
It's gonna be short ribs. It's gonna be Calbee.
Yep.
Yeah, funny. What is Grant Hall? Grant Hall says prawn crackers. It's prawn crackers. That sounds like commie speak, Grant. Here in America, we have shrimp chips.
Sierra whiskey. Bulgogi, baby. Yeah, you know it.
What Jake Stout says, Hawaii has weird donuts with hidden ham. Hidden ham. He's talking about Manapua. Jay Stout, you're talking about Manapua. It's just, the 7-Elevens here, you can get kind of like this doughy kind of roll, and it's got like some meat in the middle, and that's called Manapua.
I love that you can get freaking Spam musubi at the 7-Elevens.
Oh, yeah.
So rad.
You can get sushi now. You can get sushi at the 7-Eleven.
I think you could get, if I remember, you can get Spam musubi at the Target.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can.
The Target, not too far from your house, right?
Yeah. Well, we got one up on Ala Moana, and then we've got one over in Kailua, and
the one in Ala Moana has that. I think it's like a little Pizza Hut, and it's Spam musubi.
Yeah, but yeah, kimchi is not for everybody. Kimchi is not for everybody. It's kind of an acquired taste unless you're raised with it.
I love kimchi.
Yeah, but it's just kimchi is just it's Korean sauerkraut with usually with some garlic and with some kind of spicy red pepper sauce mixed into it. Yeah. Yeah. Same idea. Same idea. But man, you put it in your fridge, you got to put the lid on good or your fridge will be done.
We have 69 people watching us talk about kimchi and Spam.
That's fantastic.
This is truly the Aloha Hour. The number one thing about Hawaii, most people in the States have only seen Spam, Spam Light, and maybe bacon Spam, right?
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store in Hawaii, they have an entire aisle of Spam food. It is like Spam heaven.
Yeah. So usually if I go to a grocery store here in Hawaii, I have probably about, and I'm not talking about off-brand Spam. I'm talking about actual Spam.
Legit.
Usually there's at least 20 different types, varieties of Spam.
Yeah.
Like teriyaki Spam, you got garlic Spam, you got
pineapple
bacon flavor, smoked. I mean, yeah, all the different kinds of
spam,
spam,
spam, spam, spam,
spam,
spam,
spam,
spam,
spam,
spam, spam.
spam. Yeah, you got all kinds of spam.
Freaking bacon spam is so good.
Yeah, you know, like I don't actually eat a whole lot of spam. I eat spam one of three ways generally. So I'll get a spam musubi, and just in case anybody missed it, I'll usually get like a teriyaki spam musubi. And what this is, you got a piece of spam, yeah, think about yay thick, about the thickness of your finger, and that's going to be laid on top of this little brick of rice. And it's going to have some seasonings on it. I usually get the one that has like the teriyaki sauce, and then it's got seaweed that wraps it around, almost kind of like a piece of sushi. So it's just kind of hand food, yeah. It's just that's not a bad little snack. That's one way I'll eat spam.
That's a wonderful breakfast right there.
Yeah, and then sometimes my wife, every now and then, probably not that frequently, a couple times a year, she'll fry some up crispy. She'll fry some up crispy with breakfast, so we might have like spam and eggs. She makes hers real crunchy though. She cuts it real thin and fries it up real crispy.
Yeah.
And have that with some sunny side eggs, sunny side up. How are we doing over there?
Isaac.
Occasionally you'll see it in fried rice, and then occasionally, if I'm bored, I might chop up a little bit for my Simon. And that's about the only way we eat spam.
You know what's really good is if you cut it up into little like almost like noodles, right? Like
right.
thin strips. You cook it up with some cabbage, mushrooms, and sprouts.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good little treat, and you just throw that on top of rice.
Oh, yeah, I could see that because, like, if you're cooking it up with like the cabbage, it provides the fat that'll kind of season that cabbage. Yeah, I can see that.
That'd be good. I might go get some spam.
Spam. Glorious spam.
Let's see. Free spam with every like and Lone Star purchase.
Is that going to be a stretch goal? If we can get it up to 40,000, we'll send everybody
the ALOHA stretch goal. You get a pineapple, a can of spam, and a box of macadamia nuts.
Spam Star. Yeah, Spam Star. He's the less glamorous cousin of Lone Star.
Yeah. Fried cabbage and spam rocks. Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people have probably never even tried spam because it's got kind of a bad name here on the mainland for a lot of people. It's like, poor people food, but man, that's mother's milk.
So now we are not like full on preppers, but I try and keep at least somewhere between 3 months to 6 months worth of food in the house, just to be safe. And so yeah, we keep spam because spam lasts forever. And if we had a hurricane or we had like an earthquake, because we have both of these things here,
yep,
fairly frequently, spam stays good forever. And if you're hungry, if you ain't got nothing else to eat, spam could be some right good eating, and it stores forever. Yeah, it's high calorie. So
I'm on a stream. You want me to eat cake while I'm on a stream? You guys mind if I eat a cake while I'm on the stream?
Let's see, what is it? It's the $200,000 Lone Star stretch goal. Edwin Boyette will record every purchaser's answering machine. Yeah, I absolutely would. If we get that, I will do that. Might take me a while. You'll get an MP3, but I would absolutely do that. So get busy and make it happen.
You know what we could do? We can get Christian Slater out here, and he could start doing some of these messages for you.
Christian Slater. Mike isn't eating spam.
This is not spam. This is cognac cake.
Cognac cake.
Cognac cake. That's the one
Edwin
on
has,
my artwork.
Edwin has a bomb shelter. That was interesting because we did have a. So Eric, and you told me how to pronounce Eric's name, and you said it was Elric Hugo.
Hugo.
Elric Hugo. Okay, so we live on the island of Oahu, and don't do it now because I don't want you to lose the stream. But we live on the island of Oahu, which is where the city of Honolulu is. Okay. Now, where the volcano is taking place, well, hang on. Let me pull up a map. Do you mind if I share my screen again, and I'll give everybody some Hawaiian geography? Is that okay?
Watch me eat cake.
Hang on a second.
You're on. Miller is drunk now. No, but Miller's going to go get himself a drink in a minute.
Screen share. Let's make it happen. Share. All right. Make it small. All right. So I live on this island, and this is called Honolulu. If you can see my mouse cursor. Okay.
The land of my birth.
Land of your birth. Where were you born?
I always bring that up. Not Obama's.
I
was born in Kapiolani's Women's Center.
Okay. All right, so check it out.
I think everyone on Oahu was born in Kapiolani Women's Center.
This is the airport here, right? And so kind of down below it, you've got Pearl Harbor. It's kind of all right in here.
That's where I live, right up there. Move your mouse a little bit up. Get to Aiea.
Okay. Well, I used to live in Aiea too, right across from the mall.
Yeah, I was. If I can see the okay.
Right,
yeah.
So there's Aloha Center. There's Pearl Ridge Center.
Yeah, we stopped and ate at Aloha Center last time I was in town.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a nice little area.
Yeah, also a bowling alley that had like a restaurant in it. You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Pearl Harbor. Okay, so you got the Missouri Memorial. Okay, coming right around, you got the airport, and you got Hickam Air Force Base. Here's where I work. Our office is kind of on this little island right here. It's called Sand Island. Sand Island is kind of a man-made island. It was kind of all filled in. And this, during World War II, there were actually some of the Japanese internment camps were over here on Sand Island. And then, so this is where I work. And then I kind of live in this area here. This is called Kaka'ako. And it's so funny because nobody used to really live in Kaka'ako. And now it's hipster town. I'm actually a little bit too old to be living where we live. We're kind of the eccentric odd couple or old couple in our building, right? And so the area or the neighborhood is called Kaka'ako. Really, this whole area is Honolulu. But if you follow down the coastline, so this is what's called Ala Moana Beach Park, right? And then you get into Waikiki, and everybody's heard of Waikiki, right? All right. So this is the island of Oahu. Got a lot of military bases here. We got Pearl Harbor. We got Hickam Air Force Base. We got Schofield Army Barracks. We've got Kaneohe Marine Corps Base. So all kinds of military presence here. And scrolling out. Now, where the volcano is happening is the island of Hawaii. So the island itself is called the island of Hawaii. It's also called Moku Nui, the Big Island. Right? A lot of people don't know it, but actually, Mauna Kea here, there's all kinds of observatories. It actually snows up here. So in Hawaii, there is snow on top of this mountain for about 2 to 3 months out of the year. And so for 3 years, I lived in this little town right here called Hilo. Kind of a sleepy little town. It's nice. But where the volcanic activity is happening is, I don't know if you can see it. Let me make it bigger. But it's kind of here where you see this Leilani Estates. and then it's kind of come all the way out, into the ocean. And so yeah, this is right here is where all the volcanic activity is happening. So yeah, we're not really being affected on Oahu. We get some prettier sunsets, and some days my wife's sinuses act up because of the extra volcanic smoke. Yeah, nothing too bad.
Sweet Tooth says he was in Ala Moana a few weeks ago. You know, it's funny. When we lived in Aiea, my dad bought the house there, I think, for $35,000.
Oh wow! And was this a condo or a freestanding house?
Freestanding house.
Wow! It is probably worth at 20 to 30 times that now.
Right. You're still screen sharing?
Oh yeah, I'll get off that. I'll get off the screen share. Let's see, screen share.
Please, if you
did that stop?
You're young in another room. It's not that. Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
There's a moon out tonight.
Those dibs on the new islands. Oh, hey man, I need a name for a Japanese hopper kit. I'm writing a story just for fun. I've been doing it when I live stream myself. I work on it a little bit each time, and so I've got like a little super or hero story that I'm writing just for fun. I'm never going to do anything with it, but it's just kind of fun. So I need the name of a Japanese hopper kit.
Use my cousin's name, Shota.
Shota. Whoa, isn't that some weird kind of stuff that comes on 4chan?
I don't go on 4chan.
How do you spell that?
S-H-O-T-A.
Shota. What does Shota mean?
No, I suppose he's shorter than his brother.
Oh no.
I don't know what it means, man. He'll be here next week, though. He's visiting from Japan next week.
Let's see. What is Jiminy Cricket telling me to use? He says Kaneta or Tetsuo. I've got a Shiro. I've got a Chota.
I've got a cousin named Tetsuo.
Tetsuo.
Is it Tetsuya? No, Tetsuya. Tetsuya and Yuji. I've got an uncle named Shigeo. I got a brother named Shogo.
Shogo. I like Shogo. Oh, it's a good sounding name. I can go with that.
Yeah, there was a surfer in Hawaii named Shogo. In the 80s.
So yeah, I want to just doing a fun little story. Combination between not quite Green Lantern, not quite Star Brand. Just a kid accidentally comes into possession of just an alien tool. Nothing even fancy. They wouldn't have thought twice about them, but thought twice about it. But after it becomes attenuated to him, he's able to manipulate certain energy and stuff and have some telekinesis. Thought it might be fun. Said it in Hawaii because I don't see a lot of stories in Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah. Just something to noodle around with.
I forget stats. That's in Hawaii.
Oh no. Well, I thought to make it fun, I would explain all the heroes of legend, right? All of these guys had acquired one of these alien tools or artifacts. Like Excalibur was a manifestation of the tool. Did y'all ever see Moana?
What can I say except you're welcome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So Maui, yeah, and Maui was a Hawaiian demigod. Yeah, just kind of like Moana's kind of like if you've seen the Disney movie Moana, it's kind of a mashup various Polynesian cultures and um, Polynesian mythology. And a lot of, my Samoan friends all loved it. Some of my Hawaiian friends kind of turned their noses up at it.
Oh,
But
really?
all my Samoan friends love it. Well, but it's cool for them because, like here you are and nobody really knows anything about your culture. And all of a sudden you get to see something that looks kind of like you doing something. You know what I mean? And like focused on your culture. And, and I know it's not, and it's not even the forced diversity thing. It's just there's not a whole lot of Polynesians in the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're only talking about at most what, maybe 3 million people, maybe 4.
Pretty slim. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very small population.
I'll kick you out if you don't stop. Okay.
Did Mike just do a Mark Waid impersonation?
Right, throw the phone on the floor and start crying.
Oh no, don't do that.
Your story reminds me. I had a story called "Baby Saves the World."
All right.
And it's about there was this. The government gets this call from out in space, and then they like all gather together. And this guy's got this like toddler with him. Like he couldn't make it because he's got this toddler, or he couldn't drop off his kid for this big meeting, so he's got this toddler with him. And so in the video transmission, you've got this alien being. He looks all big and whatever, and he's like wounded, and he's like, they're coming to Earth, and they're going to destroy you, but I've brought you this weapon. And it's like a gauntlet. He's all, I've brought you this weapon. It's the only thing that can save your species. So they're like, oh my gosh, they're waiting, and they're like trying to line up, like Samuel lining up all of David's brothers to see who's going to be king of Israel, right? And they're like, oh, well, we'll send Hal Jordan, we'll send blah blah blah, we'll send these big guys, to try try the weapon. And the spacecraft finally comes in, and it lands at their feet, and it's like the size of a little go-kart. The alien like dies inside, but he's the size of a toddler. Nobody can get their hand in the weapon, and when nobody's looking, the kid sticks his hand in it, and it symbiotes onto him, and so he's got to save the world, but first you got to keep him from destroying everything, because he's a terrible two.
That might actually be fun, man. That might be a fun little story to do.
Yeah, that's one of those, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot kind of titles, where it's like, this is what the movie is. Baby saves the world. It's like
I could see that go into like an animated short pretty easily. Yeah, that would be funny. So I guess the twist in my little story is, so this kid who gets attenuated to this thing, he kind of thinks he's going crazy, because this is not like a Green Lantern ring or anything like this. It's like a survey tool, yeah. And so it's trying to feed him scientific information. So he's getting all this auditory hallucinations, and it's just the thing trying to interface with him. And so he finally figures out he can do something. And he's made friends with a Samoan kid, because for the last couple of years he's been kind of weird and withdrawn because he's getting all this weird stuff. He finally figures out that he can manifest some powers, but he's got all this crazy anxiety. So they dress the Samoan kid up in a little DIY superhero costume. He kind of hides in the bushes and uses his little powers to enhance the Samoan kid. That would be a different little twist.
It's like a scene out of Roxanne or Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah. Same idea. And then be fun to write some little action scenes in Hawaii. I figure the first thing is probably the obligatory going against the bullies, and then maybe fighting some crime in Honolulu, and then finish it off with him having to come out into the daylight and help with a plane that's circling the Honolulu airport with busted up landing gear, helping the plane land safely, but revealing himself to the world.
Well, Indiegogo, man.
Nah. Just something fun to. I'm gonna keep writing it online. When I do my little live streams, I'm gonna try and write a little bit each time. I do like little 15-minute conversations, and I do like been doing like a little bit of a Comicsgate wrap up. Yeah, like the status of everybody's Indiegogo and like the new stuff that's been happening.
Right.
Sierra Whiskey 186. It's an alien torque wrench. Yeah, more or less, but it's also like a tricorder. It was just like a survey instrument, and it only really incidentally gives people powers. It wasn't meant to be a weapon or anything like that. It's just kind of like a side effect of it.
So it's like a sonic screwdriver.
Yeah.
An alien torque wrench, yeah. Well, sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, what does Sierra Whiskey 186 says? He'll save the world after he gets a diaper change. Wait a minute. Was that the baby or was that Mike?
That's a great tagline.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Save the world if only someone would change his diaper first.
Let's see what the comments were on your story. Disney said they collaborated with Polynesians. Oh, okay, that must have been about Moana. Yeah, they did. Mouse Detective is great. I like that one and Sword in the Stone, but I'm a sucker for Arthuriana. Is Arthuriana stuff about King Arthur in general?
Sounds like it.
Lilo and Stitch was the last of Disney's great animation.
Oh yeah, they stopped doing animation, 2D animation, except for like direct to home video stuff. After that,
let's see. Super Answer says Disney's Robin Hood. So we're talking about the old one with like the anthropomorphic. Gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, with the fox.
Yeah.
Boy, Disney used to do some great 2D animation.
They did, man. They did. Just very memorable stuff. And now a lot of the animation is kind of forgettable, yeah.
Well, they only do 3D.
Oh, I guess so. Oh, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
It is 8:50 p.m. I think we have gone for the Aloha 2 hours.
Have we? Get out.
Yeah, wow, that went by fast.
It has not been 2 hours. You're kidding.
It says it is 8:50 p.m. We got to be coming up. When did we start? 7 o'clock?
It's 10 something.
Let's see.
I don't know. Hey guys, how long have we been on?
Did I have a beard when we started streaming? You could tell me.
Oh, behave. Maybe we can figure out an anthology or collaboration type thing where a bunch of community short stories get compiled into a Comicsgate promoted comic on Indiegogo, and the popular ones can get made. I concern myself with crossing the streams too much like that on projects, just because people cutting checks 12 different ways on stuff is that starts to be a headache that I don't want to be involved in.
Yeah, it gets a little funny. Now, but you guys put some work in on your own stuff, and
hey, Sierra Whiskey says this is my favorite live stream in Comicsgate. Just have to say, well, get out there and promote it. We appreciate it. We could use more than 61 viewers at a time.
Though I guess for this time of night, because right now it is it's 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, it's coming up on midnight here.
We're getting the international crew and the California crew, and Every now and then, I think we pull in somebody from the Big Island.
Yeah, we're probably better on the Australian the Australian timeline. We're on Australian drive time. Derek says it's almost 2 a.m. where I am, so that's mountain time, right? Or central. Central?
Yeah, yes, Central.
8 a.m. London, which means you've been listening since 6.
I did a talk with Diversity in Comics author the other day, and he's in Spain. He's in the Basque region of Spain, and he's exactly 12 hours apart from Hawaii. 12-hour time difference.
Well, guys, if you want to see, this is I haven't done much, but I've done some armoring. Yeah, no way. We haven't been on for 2 hours because I ain't more than that. Either that or I've just been lollygagging this entire time.
When we started the stream, you were talking about the quality of the paper. You said it was kind of being real kind of miserable to draw on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant to ask you about. What is the collaboration thing that you and John Delarose are going to do?
Oh, John wants to do like a little. I don't know. Should I talk about it? He wants to do a little crossover that he's going to fund using Lone Star for a little snippet of a story to add to his project. So Lone Star, I don't know when his book is going to come out. I'm pretty sure Lone Star should come out first. But then he'll have a little crossover with Lone Star in it. And we haven't talked about story yet or anything like that. He just asked me about it. And, yeah, man, that's cool.
John is doing what you were talking about doing, taking an existing property, updating it, right, and then republishing it. So I've got the old version of Flying Sparks, and this is the one he's redoing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and so it was not a bad comic book before, but I think he did it almost 6 years ago now. Just got a different skill set now.
Okay, this has been an hour and a half. Kevin B says first comment was 92 minutes ago.
92 minutes ago.
And we are the perfect time zone for New Zealand, apparently.
Are we now the number one Blacklist universe stream in New Zealand, or do we have some competition?
Love listening. Just wish we could see Mike inking. Yeah, I tried to set up my phone and tape it to this today, but the problem with phones is I can't live stream and invite people to the stream when I'm using a phone. So as time passes and I get a little more learned about how all this stuff works, I will try to set up a camera situation where I can both I can picture in picture. I know that can be done, but B, also to have it so that I can picture in picture, and we can do the Google Hangouts and chat and everything. So we're gonna try. We're gonna get better. This is we're all learning, and that's all you can ask out of life, right?
Nice. Let's see. The DJD show says added a comic to buy list. Which one did you add to your list? Was it the Lone Star? Interesting to hear. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta. I think people love your drawing, and the picture-in-picture thing would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Pixel Trader just said set up the stream on your main account, set up a second Google account, and use your phone on that.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Hang on, let me check the status of the Lone Star project. So, all right, so right now, if I'm seeing this correctly, I see $28,477 with 19 days left. Hey, so when are we gonna when are we going to try and record some of that dialogue, bro?
I got hit with having to get this done by tomorrow today, so I have to do that before I can work on the dialogue. I'll do that, and then we'll get together and get that out, and then I'll make my son.
Nice, nice. I like it, man. You should, yeah. I think child labor is really the way to go. You got the Miller family sweatshop, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, John De La Rose launched his Indiegogo. I don't have the link here. Do you know what it is offhand?
It is called Flying Sparks. So if you're already in Indiegogo, let's see. If you type in Flying Sparks.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Nobody's making you buy anything. Check it out. If you like it, please support it.
Oh wow. He's halfway funded. Oh, good for him. He's raised $3,000 today. He's known as like he's got a real loyal following as a science fiction author, and he's actually working on a lot of comic stuff, but people won't see it for a little bit. So he's got 82 backers, $3,000. Is that close enough for the two of you to do the collab?
Well, he's going to pay for it. I'm just lending him my character, and then
cool.
And then I'll probably just let him write it how he likes, and then I'll look at it and make sure it fits with his character, so that he doesn't, he's not doing something like that my character wouldn't do.
Oh, hang on. What is this now? Someone said there's a fake Kickstarter for the Flying Sparks. Yeah. So if you're looking for John De La Rose's thing, it is on Indiegogo. And that's kind of a nasty little thing. People have been making these fake things.
Yeah. You can probably go to delarose.com and he'll have a direct link to the actual one there. I would assume it's his blog, so I would assume he's got.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I would assume.
That was another good reason for creating the redirect link that is LONESTARcomic.com, because searching something and then someone creating a fake one, it happened with Ethan. I don't want it happening with me.
Oh yeah. All right, so make sure, if you guys aren't already, make sure you're following Mike on Twitter, okay? And then there is also the Facebook group now, which I'd like to start filling that up with some post and discussion, and that is the Blacklist comic group.
Blacklist comic group. I have been so busy. I have not been attending, but I will post up some art there. I'm actually going to post up the rest of the preview pages to Twitter. I think I stopped after like page 3 or 4. Kind of afraid to go on Twitter right now. There's probably going to be like 400.
Oh yeah, it's going to be nuts. I haven't checked in a while.
Updates. All right. Well, Edwin has to go. Yeah, it's midnight, so I better get going too. So thank you all for being here at the ALOHA hour and a half. We went a little over, but yeah, it's all good. Another chill night for our silver-haired fox.
All right, Lone Star Squadron. Have a beautiful evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Aloha.
Aloha.